Good morning, good day, good evening. I'm, as always, your host, Brodie Robertson, and today we are here for episode 85. God damn it! Okay, we don't restart anything on this podcast. Why is it the second I start recording, noise starts happening? What was that?
That was me. It was my fault. It was a little fan
Oh.
that I even put on the cloth so it wouldn't do that. But oh well, you live, you learn.
Okay, welcome to episode 85 of TechHut. Welcome TechHut. He has an annoying fan. Normally he just has
it's off.
Normally he just has a really calming voice and not the fan. But welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite swell. Thank you so much for having me on here.
I don't know how you managed to get a Blue Yeti to sound so good. I think it's just your voice. When I had a Blue Yeti, I found the sound it produced to be kind of annoying, but also maybe it's that I didn't know how to use the Blue Yeti as well.
Yeah, I don't know how to use it either. It's I just have it in the middle. I have no filters or anything like that ever in OBS or anything. It's just the grain is in the middle and pretty close to my face, and it's good to go. I got this thing, actually, we were talking about this. I found this in a Goodwill, which is a thrift store over here, for it was like $12, which is a pretty good deal for a Blue Yeti. You could find these for like $100 usually.
That sounds about right for retail, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw it when I walked into Goodwill. I can see it from the other end of the store because it's big silver. It was it was awesome. Because even if it didn't work for $12, I mean, I could put it on a shelf in the background and
look, a $12 ornament is honestly cheaper than most people spend on their background stuff. Getting you I don't know what they're called. You know those like diamond-shaped lights that everyone, like all the streamers have.
Yeah.
Those things are in the range of like hundreds of dollars. So Blue Yeti, look, if you wanted to, like put a lot of effort into it, you could like hollow it out and put a light inside of it, then use the grill to like as like a lighting effect.
Yeah, that would look really cool, actually.
It'd be a ton of effort, but
yeah, I'm not doing it.
I've got a Blue Yeti. I want to do that now. I'll hit up my my stepdad and see if he can help me out with that. I don't have the tools here, but it's not like I need the Blue Yeti. I've got a backup mic anyway. My before I had the Shure, I had a AKG P120. It doesn't sound amazing, but it does the job.
Yeah, this does the job. I got some other cheaper Amazon microphones that I got for
cheaper than $12 or cheaper than a Blue Yeti normally costs?
Cheaper than this MSRP. Those were like $50 or somewhere around there, but even this is still a little bit cleaner audio versus some of the other ones I have.
Cool, because I wouldn't consider something cheaper than what you paid to be much of a backup.
No.
That would be in the range of like, the earbuds that have like microphones in line. Yeah, I know people who've recorded videos with those. they don't work. No. Not at all. You can get them to work as long as you're not using them as earphones. If you put it very precariously on your desk, like hanging right there, I guess it can function. Don't do it. Like there are apps. Oh, sorry.
No. I was gonna say like random people's videos when they're holding up these headphones like this, trying to talk. Like, well, that's a little better than just letting it dangle.
Like honestly, just put 5 minutes of effort into editing and use your phone. It'll sound so much better.
Oh yeah. Like just throw the audio in Audacity and compress it, and it'll make it sound decent.
You were complaining about your webcam before. I don't know what you're using.
It is
not C920, is it?
It's one of the super popular ones. It's a Logitech 1080p. It's probably It's another one I got a decent deal. I try to buy things like secondhand all the time. So I got this for like $40. I think it's like an $80 webcam. But I mean, it works. The only time I ever use it is for live streams and stuff. I'm usually recording on this thing, which is a Canon M50.
Oh, you've got an M50,
DSLR. Yeah, this is what I usually use. Took me forever to actually figure out how to use it, but after a while, I have the ISO as low as possible. It took a lot of light to get this thing to look good, but it It looks good with enough light.
Yeah, I'm rocking a Canon M200.
Nice.
I didn't like the idea of having the actually there's a way to get around the capture limit the M50 has, isn't there? Because it's supposed to have like a 30-minute capture limit or something like that.
Yeah, it does. I I never changed it because I try to do like 15-minute 15-minute recordings.
Oh,
there's ways to get around the capture limits and all that.
Discord cut out your audio for just a moment there.
Oh, basically, yeah, there are ways to get around the capture limits, but I never do it.
So that's why you don't use it for like live streams and stuff.
Well, with the live streams, I would hook it up to
does the HDMI
and all that.
The HDMI out doesn't have any issues like that, does it?
No, I mean there's a slight delay of like a fraction of a second, but nothing that you're gonna notice too bad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Going through the HDMI.
Is that just the kit lens you have on it, or do you actually get a new lens for it?
Yeah, just kit lens. I haven't gotten another lens yet. I would like another lens because this one is like you don't have much to work with, and I have it fairly close to me, so because there's a wall right here. But yeah, so a new lens would be nice, but for now it does the trick.
Yeah, I'm still rocking the kit lens on mine. My room is really small, and it doesn't do any favors in that regard.
Yeah.
I show this to everyone that comes on, but this is as far back as my chair goes, like where I'm sitting right now. My room is, I think it's 3 meters across. I don't know, is that like 8, 9 feet, something like that.
That's about how big this room is. If I had a bed right here, I'd be in the same situation.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I'd be able to get.
I am very excited to move to my new place, because that's going to be... It's going to have like an extra meter of space, and the entire room's just going to be better, and I can split off half it into a studio and actually do stuff with my backdrop, unlike this, what's going on here.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good space that I have here. It's like I said, probably the same size as your room.
Yeah, it would be. This would be a good space as well if I didn't have the bed here. That's my problem.
Yeah, but I got some big things in here, like right here. Can't really see it. My mic's in the way, but I have a huge, like, what is this, 4-foot tall server cabinet that I have a bunch of stuff in. It's basically empty. I just got it for future-proof upgrades and things. That was what I told myself when I bought it. But like my actual computer, and I have a couple small mini PCs with like jellyfin servers and all that kind of stuff. But I don't need this. It's huge.
Future-proofing is always a good excuse to justify spending more money than you should. Like, I don't need this mic. I don't need this mixer board. Future-proof, though, I'll never replace them.
Yeah, that's what I told myself when I bought this. I'm never going to need anything bigger than this, so... as big as I think I'll ever need. So it worked out.
I can't think of... Unless you, like, go full-on, like, what Linus Tech Tips is, like, where you, like, automate everything in your house. Like, that's the only time you need, like, anything bigger than that, surely. But...
Right.
I can't even imagine how much he's spent automating shit in his house at this point.
Oh, yeah, no. Every couple months, there's a new video of some project in his house where he's running Ethernet cables everywhere. I want to do that, though, eventually. That would be the coolest thing, just have Ethernet ports everywhere. And with this on the server rack, when I'm going to probably get a house in like 2 years or so once I get my diploma and all that. This is going to be in a garage, and I want to run like a Thunderbolt single cable through the wall. And just have a plug-in and a little dock station with my monitors and all that. That's what I eventually want to do, and do it nice with like the actual wall outlet.
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
I would love to do that when I get my own place. Right now, I'm just I'm not even renting a house. I'm renting a room. This is everything that I'm renting. I'm moving in a couple of months into one of my mate's places. He works in the mines, so he's like not there for like 2 weeks at a time, and he doesn't want to leave his house empty. He's like, screw it, I'm going to rent out a room. Why not? So that's going to give me a lot more space to work with, and I can actually do stuff outside of the room, because it's not like this weird thing where I'm renting a room for people I don't really know.
Yeah.
But at some point, I will buy a place, and I'll do the same thing. I'll probably get solar as well and do a bunch of fun stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I stopped. Because if you like look at my old channel videos, I did stuff for like a couple years. I stopped for 5 years and I started again.
Yeah, I was gonna say how old, because I sorted your channel by oldest, and I noticed there's Minecraft videos from 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's old. It's old. There's probably like the 10,000 subscribers were all from that period when I was in high school, just playing around on Minecraft, doing like bucket plugin videos and stuff. And yeah, I stopped for 4 years because I was working a lot and I was renting a room. So for me at the moment, it wasn't practical. But now this whole room is dedicated to it's nice.
Oh, wait! I didn't even notice the wallpaper you had. You had that like really high definition ore breaking wallpaper that every Minecraft video had.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah, God.
That was fun doing that, because I started the channel as a general tech channel, which kind of what I still am. I obviously do way more Linux stuff than anything else, but I don't know, Minecraft then was just super fun. And like if you do go back, every once in a while I'll do a general video kind of in the same format that I do now. You'll see me in like Linux Mint doing a Minecraft video, not focusing on the Linux part of it, just that's what I used. But yeah, that was fun times.
I've done stuff throughout time, but I've always, whenever I had like a new idea for what I wanted to do, it would always be on a new channel. So I've got channels dating back to 2008, 2009. I was very young back then. I would have been, 2009. How many years ago was that? 12? I would have been 11, I guess. Jeez.
Yeah, but that's about... I have channels that I don't think they exist anymore because I didn't like log into them for 10 years or whatever it is. But one was like, I was probably in like 6th grade in middle school, doing videos on like finding like glitches in Call of Duty and showing people how to like cheat in like the Nazi zombie games and all that.
What was I doing back then? I was doing RuneScape videos, yeah.
Nice, that's fun.
I played that game for 7 or so years. I don't want to play it. It's not. I've looked at old school RuneScape. Like, I know I will get addicted to this if I play it. I'm not touching this. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I played it for a little bit. My big thing for the longest time was Oblivion Elder Scrolls. When that first came out, for like 4 years after that, I played that all the time and replayed it and did all the side things. All that. I never got into RuneScape. I had friends that were super into RuneScape, but I played that for probably like a month, and then something else happened. I don't know.
Yeah, RuneScape, first month I would say is good, but then you get to a point where leveling up becomes a very slow process. Like, getting to like I think the first like 40 or so levels are fairly quick. Then, you know, from 40 to 50, it's basically all of that time you spend in the other first 40. And then it gets worse and worse from then on. Like, when you get, like, I got a couple of skills to max level, which everything at that point, max level is 99. And I think playing every single day, it took me, like, a month or so to get a skill from 98 to 99, which is just insane. I was like 5-6 hours a day.
Yeah, that... I wouldn't have time.
I don't have time now, but as I said, I was doing it when I was in like early high school. You have nothing but time when you're in early high school.
Yeah, when I was doing that, like I said, I just came home and just played Minecraft for 6 hours. And then or Call of Duty, one or the other. That was my jump back and forth in between those two games.
I sadly didn't really get that much into Call of Duty. I didn't get a PS3 until like a year or so before the PS4 came out. So I've played the other ones at friends' houses, but the only one I actually owned myself was Black Ops 2, which, to be fair, is probably the best one to own.
Yeah. Yeah, my first one that I really owned myself was Black Ops 1. And that one was fun, too. That one was my favorite for sure. But before that, like, my parents had a PlayStation 3, and I'd play, like, Call of Duty 3 on that one. And the online experience for like Call of Duty 3 is like that was an afterthought that they just made work. It was interesting how they actually worked that. Like these huge maps that make no sense with a 8-person limit. And so if you got like 3 kills in a game, you were doing really good.
So I've never played COD that old. The oldest one I've played is 4, and 4 they'd already worked out very tight corridors and sort of stuff. So it was basically like Battlefield maps with a smaller player size.
And Call of Duty 4 was fun too.
Well, it's fun if you decide to make it fun, because if you don't, everyone's just going to run the exact same build. It's going to be the M16 and Painkiller, which is just objectively the best build in the entire game.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to do good. But after Black Ops, I really stopped. I didn't continue after that too much.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't really play that many FPS nowadays. There is one game people keep trying to bug me to play. They want me to play Doom Eternal on stream. I should at some point. I hear it's very good. I played through a bit of the first of like the new Dooms. The problem with streaming like an FPS though, especially because I'm not very good at them, is you probably know this yourself. When you stream a game, it's at least 2 times harder than it would be off stream.
Yeah, because you're paying attention to other things. You can't just sit there and be quiet and focus. That's not how it works.
And I think I wasn't playing on. Was it Nightmare? I think I was playing on Nightmare. Which you need to pay a bit of attention to. I wasn't making much progress. I didn't think it was making good stream content, so I just didn't really get back to actually finishing it.
Yeah, it's native to the Splitgate. It was like that weird cross between Halo and Portal. Yeah, I streamed that game. It was kind of that situation where I was doing really, really good. I'm like, I'm just gonna stream this, and as soon as I hit start stream, I went negative kill death ratios the entire time. Yeah, that one's unlisted.
I think that there's some games that sort of work, games that have sort of natural downtimes. Like a puzzle game, for example. Like if you can be entertaining, a puzzle game works fairly well because obviously the puzzle part requires some level of concentration, but it's not like it's constant action. Or I just finished streaming through Celeste. Nice. Have you played that game before? It's
not played it, but I've watched it.
Oh, okay, yep. If anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's a precision platformer game, same vein as like Super Meat Boy, something like that. While the jumping part is obviously very difficult, you don't have to jump straight away. You can, wait for a second and then read chat. Or there's sometimes going to be parts throughout like the jumping puzzle where you can just break for a moment and actually read. Stuff like that I feel like works fairly well. Or games that you're just generally fairly good at. Right now I'm playing through Bloodborne, and I've played hundreds of hours of Souls games, so it's sort of an extension of that, and I don't need to pay full attention to play through the game. I got none of that. I don't know what's happening with audio today.
Is that better?
I can hear you now. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's fine. What I was saying is the last technically game I streamed was I was actually doing the Debian install, and and they have like Tetris and all that. It was taking forever, so I was streaming myself playing Tetris while Debian was installing and reading chat because it goes pretty slow.
That reminds me of my Gentoo stream. My Gentoo stream where I wasn't compiling the kernel. I was compiling something else. Oh, it was Xorg. I was compiling Xorg, and I just played chess. I just played chess for like half an hour.
Yeah, people really wanted me to play chess, but it was almost over. And I would have started and then looked like I was in a bad spot and left because the install would have finished.
I don't know how to play chess that well, so I basically just let chat make my moves.
Oh, that's a good way to do it because then it's not your.
No, there was some grandmasters in my chat. Like I don't know what's going on.
That's awesome.
We just smashed everyone.
That's awesome.
So well, speaking about generally Linux gaming before, did you hear about the Linux challenge that Linus Tech Tips was going to be doing?
I think I was I was kind of skimming your stuff before we started, and I saw you mention that, and then I watched some of the what is the LAN show?
The WAN show, yeah.
Yeah. I know they're going to be switching to Linux, and there's some rules here and there for their gaming systems, but after that, I really don't know.
I know that Luke said he's going to be using Mint, and at this stage, I think Linus is either going to be using Pop! OS or Endeavor.
Okay.
People in the chat were trying to get him to use Gentoo, which...
Yeah, that would have been a good idea.
He did have Arch on the list as well, but Arch was there he knew Arch was going to be a joke distro. He wasn't going to get very far with that one.
Yeah, he's probably going to end up going Pop! OS.
Yeah, they've done a lot of videos on Pop! OS before, so that seems like the most obvious choice.
Yeah, when you watch them, it's like the two they bring up the most is Pop! OS and Manjaro. Is their two or at least Anthony brings up those two the most.
Yeah, anytime Linus Tech is brought up, it's just like a wall of comments just basically praising Anthony.
Yeah, no, I did a joke on a video a long time ago where I was comparing Pop! OS and Manjaro, and I stole a little clip of him saying like he's the most important person in Linux. What he says is, it was funny, but yeah, everybody loves him because I don't know, he's just a very likable person.
He's a very likable person. He's basically the only person they have on staff that actually understands Linux well. Like I hadn't heard this before, but apparently he runs Arch on his home system, so he actually knows what he's doing. It's not like, he's used Linux once 5 years ago, and that's all his knowledge.
Yeah, and you could tell in some of the videos they do when, like, they did that one where all their servers are failing, or when they build a new one, and he's always on the terminal mounting all the disks and doing all that stuff throughout those videos.
I don't watch a ton of stuff from Linus Tech Tips, but I do appreciate the videos that Anthony does do. I've heard some people say they should just start up a Linux channel and just let Anthony do videos every so often. I'm sure the idea has been floated around internally, but I don't know if Anthony just doesn't want to do it or if they just don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, he's on the main channel a lot, so that's probably what's holding him back from that. But they did the Mac one. That's completely
that's
separate.
why I think that's why some people are saying they should do a Linux one as well, because they do have that Mac one.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of funny if they did do a Linux channel, because it would become the most popular Linux channel literally overnight.
Overnight, yeah. I would subscribe to it in 2 seconds.
It would easily, within like a day, it would easily triple like DT's subs, no doubt.
Yeah, they would have 300, 400,000 in a couple days, if that.
Honestly, I don't think it would be a bad thing for everyone else, though. Like, that would bring a lot more attention to just the Linux space in general. And if you are someone who already makes Linux content, it would be a lot of people who may not have already been introduced to Linux who are now looking for extra Linux stuff to actually consume. It's not like, like YouTube isn't like Twitch. It's like you can watch multiple things in a day. Like if you're going to watch a Twitch stream, usually you're going to sit there and watch one stream, but most videos aren't, 3-4 hours long.
Yeah, I'm probably on, because I get a lot of the stuff or ideas for doing things from YouTube, so I'm probably watching other people's stuff for maybe a half hour to an hour a day, just trying to figure everything out and see what other people are interested in. And like, I watch your stuff, I watch DistroTube, I watch Linux Experiment, all those guys. I watch all of them.
I mainly I don't actually watch that much Linux on. I've sort of said this before. Because I make so much stuff when I'm not making videos, I sort of want to be doing anything else. Most of the topics I get are usually from places like from Reddit.
Nice.
The only problem with Reddit is there's a lot of people with like really bad takes. When it comes to that Linus Linux challenge, there's a lot of people saying that like Linus he'll do Linux dirty. He's a bad representative. He'll say bad things about Linux. And like, as long as you just ignore that part of it, there's always going to be those annoying people on Reddit. They're everywhere, but Reddit, they all sort of congregate on Reddit.
Yeah. I'm not on Reddit too much. I do like
That's
find
good.
a lot of guides
You shouldn't
and
be.
stuff. Yeah, that's good. I do a lot of podcasts, like walking or driving to school or something like that. I'm always listening to tech podcasts. I have them on a thing, so I forget the name. It's the Linux Network or something. I forgot the exact names of them. There's 4 hosts. I'll figure it out.
I'm not too sure myself. Let's see. What do we have on here actually? While you're looking for that, I guess. You know what? Let's just go straight into the big thing that happened. I guess it's a week ago for you guys listening, but yesterday for us. The Facebook outage.
Oh yeah.
I woke up basically as it was ending. I didn't even realize it had happened. I just like opened up Messenger. I was like, oh, okay, Messenger's not working. That's cool. But I didn't realize how bad it was until afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the first times my grandma called my cell phone number directly. Because she's on Facebook all the time and she uses Messenger and all that. And I was getting a call from her. I'm like, oh no, it's an emergency, because that's when she would call my cell phone number. And I answered, and she's like, she wanted me to fix her phone for her or help her figure out what's wrong. And I'm like, I think everybody's having issues. It's not just you this time, I promise.
Oh god. As I said, because it was, I think it basically ended around 10 a.m. here. I didn't hear anything about it, which is good. But did you hear why it happened? Like, what Facebook actually did to break it?
I heard it was something to do with a router configuration. Somebody screwed up a file or something.
So, where is it? They messed up their DNS routing. Basically, someone messed up's not the right word. Basically, someone deleted it. Just all deleted.
Whoops.
Just like, yeah, we don't need that. So Facebook, it was still working. Like, there was nothing wrong with their servers. It's just there was no connection from the servers to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, man.
I have to send you this image. I don't know why this is the picture that this article decided to use for Zuckerberg.
Hell no. That's a good choice. Yeah, I heard it knocked out, like, in that short amount of time, like $6 billion of his, like, personal net worth.
I think it was 8.
8?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Look, an extra $2 billion when you've lost $6 billion, that probably isn't that much.
Yeah, because it stops mattering.
I think Facebook also its stock dipped by $30 or $40.
Yeah.
So, but it's basically gone back up. So if anyone bought at the bottom there, man, you could have made a bit of money very quickly there.
Yeah, I almost did. I was refreshing Fidelity, that app at school. And I couldn't move anything, though, because they have all these rules and all that. So I was like, oh, because it was like negative 5%.
Yep. Oh, someone's going to lose their job, though. Someone is losing their job.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that's just his personal net worth. I don't know how much percent of the stock he owns, but it was probably way more losses than that. Just in total company value and
they couldn't
just revenue alone, how much millions per minute they could have been revenue and all that.
Well, they've got all of the advertisers on the platform. Then there's all the data they sell. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what that number really looks like.
Yeah, it's probably more than I could comprehend.
There's actually been some extra parts with it as well. Like, some people have been they've been trying to link it to the whistleblower that came out the day before, the 2 or so days before. Then there's people saying there's like a database leak and stuff, but there's not really any evidence that any of that's really happened. The leak that seems to exist is someone went and scraped public profiles, which isn't a leak.
Yes, saw that. Yeah, and even if it's not connected, it's still very inconvenient for Facebook, because then people are going to be looking at Facebook and they're going to see the first news story is they're down. The second news story is, hey, there's a whistleblower, and people are like, what's this? So all this did is drive way more attention to that whistleblower story than it would have gotten anyways.
I think Facebook has actually been dropping in value the past couple of days, actually, like before the leak actually happened. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it has been, but I haven't been looking at the rest of the market, so it very well might be. Oh yeah, no, it's been going down since like the end of August, but I don't know if that's related to the rest of the market as well. Everything might be down. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that's. Facebook isn't that good of a platform, regardless.
Really?
Because it's because like actually finding things, like if you're looking for something specifically on Facebook, chances are you're not gonna find it. And like even for like I have a TechHut page on Facebook, but I don't never touch it. And even for like doing video uploads to Facebook, they have all these weird rules and things you have to follow like very specifically, otherwise it just won't reach anybody. Because the whole platform, kind of like TikTok in a way, but the entire content discovery platform on Facebook, other than random people sharing it, is just chance while you're scrolling.
Well, Facebook literally holds search algorithm results hostage. They will tell you this is how many people could be finding your page if you pay us money to boost it.
Yep. Yeah, I had a small cleaning business a while ago, and I always got those numbers. Like, hey, if you give us $30, we'll show your stuff to 4,000 people.
It's like, you're not boosting anything. You're just not doing it.
Right? You're just suppressing it because other things will come up first. It's like if Google, like, engine worked when it comes to search results like Facebook would, nobody would use it.
Well, Google does have advertised, they're like advertised banners at the top sometimes, but nothing to the extent that Facebook has.
2 or 3, but they won't intentionally suppress anything. Well, they would, but not to the extent that Facebook does.
Yeah. Not like openly doing it, saying yes, we will not suppress you if you give us money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I saw a lot of that when I was running a service business in a local area. That they really they make some good money off service businesses because there's a lot of people in that demographic that are on Facebook, so it's worth it to a point. But just for general content consumption and stuff, it sucks.
Yeah, I have a Facebook page as well. I don't upload to it. I have like there's a site called Transferring Videos that'll automatically do it for you.
Okay.
And it's not. I think it's like it's actually not that expensive. Maybe like $100 a year or something.
That's not too bad for that.
And I've got it. Like you can actually go from YouTube to Facebook and then YouTube to Twitter and other things like that, and just does it all for you. But yeah, I do it like that, and I occasionally get messages on my Facebook account, like people sending me DMs asking me stuff. Like I don't check these. Don't.
Yeah, I know.
Like contact me anywhere else, Mastodon, Discord, Matrix, anywhere. I'll see it there. Even Instagram, I'm probably gonna see it more.
Right. Yeah, me too. My main use case for Facebook is like talking to those relatives. Who are only on Facebook. That's my main use case for it.
Yeah, WhatsApp never caught on here, so everyone I know still uses Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. I don't know anybody here who uses WhatsApp.
I know in some places, like, WhatsApp is just the default way to communicate now, which seems really strange to me.
Yeah, I used it one time to, because I get them all the time, like random Chinese Amazon companies trying to send you things.
No, what?
Like, on my business email.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yep.
Yeah, just every day, like 2-3 emails of these like Bluetooth speakers that they want to get reviewed and all that. Like,
I'm sadly not big enough for that. I've had a couple of people, someone that you actually work with contact me. I'll mention it after that. It's something that's not released yet. But you've done stuff with them before.
Okay, cool.
You could probably work it out from.
You
tested a early hardware.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just
That's super cool, by the way.
It is, yeah.
But all the time, and it's because a while ago I did a video on this like smartwatch. It was a Chinese brand smartwatch. It was pretty decent. I did it gave it a decent review, but after I uploaded that video, the amount of smartwatch emails that I got trying to get me to review all these different, I said yes to like one other one, but probably at least one a week. For those smartwatches.
I mainly get, it's mainly digital services for me. I'll have I've had a sketchy Chinese game key reseller contact me.
Oh yeah.
A bunch of those actually. I've had an indie game company try to send me a game key. Like, wow, we love your gaming content, and they send it to my main account. What gaming content? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's funny when they say hello TechHut and it's in like brackets that they didn't get rid of because to email a whole bunch of people.
Yep. If they are too lazy to write a dedicated email, I usually just delete it. But this audio is being a pain in the ass today.
I probably respond to about 10 of those emails, and out of those 10%, I make a video off of 2% of them.
Yep.
If that. Yeah, there's been a couple. Like the KVM switch I have, I got that sent to me. One of those, and this thing is awesome. It's 4 input, so I did a whole separate video on it, but it's hooked up to 2 different computers, my main computer, a dedicated mini PC that I use specifically for doing like distribution looks, because so they're not in VirtualBox, because I would always get some sort of issue.
Yeah.
And then it would look like the distribution's fault when that's not the case.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I have my Jellyfin server, so I could hit like 3 on it, and then my main 16:9 display will switch over to a server, and all my keyboards and everything switch, so I can do something on there. Hit the 1, and it goes back to my main computer. It's cool. This vertical monitor that I have here is hooked up to my main computer no matter what, so I could have OBS on this vertical thing, while my main monitor will switch to the different inputs, so I can use a capture card and record things and still have OBS open.
Right.
And that's what this is for, because my the keyboard.
I love that keyboard.
The keyboard switches inputs, but I still can play OBS.
Yeah.
So this little keyboard with a trackpad built into it helps with that. So that's nice. But that's one of the few things that I got sent that was like super cool.
One thing I was considering working with, but they sadly didn't ship to Australia, is there was a one of the first emails I got. I think it was back when I had like 2 or so K subs. It was like a independent coffee company. But they didn't send to Australia. I was like, you guys are awesome, but you don't send here, so I'm not gonna do it, sadly.
Yeah. The weirdest thing I got sent was a toothbrush.
What, like
it's like a
electric toothbrush?
Yeah, it's an electric toothbrush.
Okay,
it's like not like for a full dedicated review. It's for like a little 30-second splice spot. But I still have no idea how I'm gonna integrate this into anything. So I'm still trying to figure it out, because it can't be like this server tutorial is sponsored by this toothbrush. Nothing's gonna make sense. I could, but I gotta figure something out.
Use the toothbrush to clean a computer that's full of dirt and stuff.
Clean a motherboard, get all the dust off of it.
Exactly.
It has a low setting, and you could use it on these components to dust it.
Yeah, the weirdest one I got. Yeah, the weirdest one I got was this VPN. I've talked about this one before. I still love it though. This VPN company that was trying to. So they're saying this is a VPN company owned by military veterans. Firstly, I don't care. Like, that has nothing to do with how well you can run a VPN company. I think they assumed I was American, and saying military veterans would give me like, you know, like the the military spirit, the patriot. That's the patriotic spirit. Yeah. I was like, I don't care, sure. But then you got into like what the VPN did, and it was like it can raise your internet speeds by upwards of 100 megabit. Like,
okay.
I'm sorry, what? What can it do?
Like, if you can't, this is some revolutionary stuff. Like,
and there was like a weird edge case where they included where I think it was like. It was avoiding something that was like dropping the speed down. Like, yeah, sure, if you're doing that, yeah, of course you can do that. But most of the ones I get, I just don't bother responding to. Because I've done videos on platforms like Odyssey. I occasionally get all of the little video platforms like, hey, come check out our platform. Do you want to join our platform? Put your videos here on this platform that has 5 people on it. Like. Not really. Can I automatically post there? If so, then sure, why not? If not, go away.
That's one of the reasons I did Odyssey. They made it so easy to get everything over there. I don't even think about it half the time. I just, like, after video's been uploaded, it's usually there like 30 minutes later or so. So then I go over there and I make sure I might change the thumbnail because I have this problem where 30 minutes after video's up, I change the thumbnail 3 times. That's something.
I can't do that because I'm asleep. I post videos at 6:30 in the morning and I'm up an hour and a half later.
Yeah, I'm incredibly impatient. I have a Caden Live project for looking at Deepin, and as soon as it's edited, I'm gonna render it and upload it, and I'm gonna do the check on YouTube. Like, I'm incredibly impatient when I upload videos. It's very hard for me to schedule them.
Yeah, I want it to be up at like around like good US time, so I'll sort of have to schedule.
Yeah, me, I usually do in the mornings. Like 9 a.m. my time is where I try to make it land. Because from like 5 p.m. my time to, for some reason, my most active time is like 6 a.m. my time, and that's probably because like on the East Coast it's like 9 and 10 a.m. And in like, because a lot of my views come from India, probably 12%, which like 14% is the United States. So they're viewing it in the afternoon later, and everybody on the US is viewing it in the morning. So I have a really weird peak time.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much weight into peak time. It sort of depends on, like, your peak time will sort of adjust around when you post anyway. Like, there's obviously better and... Oh, sorry, the audio's completely cut out there.
Oh, no, I was saying, yeah, no, I realized that because I've been all over the place in my upload schedule because I'm just doing it as I can fit it in for school. And I'm really trying to have a video at least every day or every day if I could actually keep up with that.
Yeah,
but it's not the easiest thing to do.
No, I know. I was doing videos every day while I was in my final year of uni. Luckily, my final year was sort of a joke year.
Nice.
Because so with my degree, when the final year you have a full year project where it's supposed to be like an industry project. You're working with some company, working on like some thing they want you to do. Like I've had some of my mates were working with like the social services trying to rebuild their like their online application process, for example, things like that.
Yeah.
My project, I basically was just like a code monkey for one of the lecturers who wanted some VR stuff done for a research project. I maybe wrote 2,000 or 3,000 lines of code across that entire year.
And that was your year project. Basically. That's nice.
Plus, I also got a scholarship as well.
Nice. So in Australia, I'm not sure. I know for some places, how much does this university run? How much does it usually cost down there?
I did software engineering. That was a 4-year degree. That was, I think, around 40,000.
Yeah, that's about what it is here if you go to a state school.
Things like aviation can be easily 100,000 plus.
Yeah. Yeah, here if you do aviation, it's about like 85 on the low end, I've seen. But yeah, I'm in my junior year, and I just started, and I've done gaps because I've worked like union jobs and for like chunks of 4 years here and a couple things there. So yeah, I just started my junior year. And it's really like I have one class that's kind of difficult, but all the rest is GIS stuff, which is all computer map making and stuff like that. So it's pretty easy if you understand like data sets and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Me, I have no formal training in or barely any training in like coding, server administration, any of that. All this is like watching videos and just screwing around.
Look, to be fair, okay, formal training in regards to my education was basically watch some Linda videos and you'll learn everything you need. Like, I'm not even kidding. Some weeks it was just like resources, 3 Linda videos, and that's what you got.
Yeah. Our like the labs we do are sometimes they're links to other people's YouTube videos. I'm like, man, I could have done this for free. Like, I just need the piece of paper.
No, it would be funny if you do a systems admin class and it just links to someone that you know.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
It's like, oh, no, they don't realize you're like it's something like that you've done. They don't realize you're in the course. They just link to your video. It's like, oh,
yeah,
hey,
it's some basic terminal thing. And
I actually did have a basic like a sort of introductory Linux course, and I have a feeling that if I had done it now, one of my videos may possibly show up.
Yeah. Yep, and the thing is, if I got sent my own video, I'd probably have to rewatch it too, because I probably forgot what I was talking about.
Honestly, that's why I do a lot of the videos I do is because I'll kind of forget stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've memorized it now, but I have a video on like editing your FS tab file.
Oh, I have no idea how to do that.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone back just to get the link to something else.
Yep.
To get the right arguments and all that for different things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's a program that will automatically generate everything you need in that file, and that's what I do. I don't know how to write the file.
Yeah, you could just use like GNOME disks, something like that. But for like Ubuntu server, I have a for the Jellyfin server, I have a USB 3 little SSD thing that I have it hooked up and I have it reading as if it's an internal drive. I have to not accidentally unplug it, otherwise it won't boot.
Oh, wait, it's your boot drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for the server, because I have operating system on a really small SSD.
Sure.
And a huge terabyte that all the media is running off of. Not huge terabyte, but it's like a 4 terabyte hard drive. It's not that big compared to some, but I don't have that many movies.
So I actually scrolled back through your channel. I noticed that you were talking about DaVinci Resolve about a month ago. I haven't used it myself, but I've had some people tell me like, oh, you should try it out and see what it's like. No,
DaVinci Resolve is awesome. If you are on Mac or Windows, it's way easier.
Sure.
But on Linux, if you have a NVIDIA card, you're good to go.
Okay.
It's gonna be yeah. That's neither do I. If you have a NVIDIA card, it's a fine experience. Like I had it sitting somewhere around here. I had a little 1650 that I just said, screw it, and I put it in there just to run DaVinci Resolve properly.
Sure.
But if you're running Arch, it's not too bad because you could get. It needs the pro drivers, very specific pro drivers from AMD to run properly. So on all time that it's worked with no issues at all for me on this. The editor is beautiful. I like the node system. The color correction is outstanding. The actual editing and the timeline is beautiful. They have different, I forgot what the technical term is, but little tab pages for different steps in the editing process.
Yep.
And like me, I'm not that good at recording. I cut out so many, half the time I'm recording, I'll like completely freeze and think about what I'm going to say next and then start talking. So then it's not like a huge jump cut. So I'll be sitting there completely still for like 10 seconds while I'm thinking about. So I have a lot of that. So that cut page is nice because it's you're using the keyboard and you can run through and just cut out all the parts with no audio really quick, and then put it together and then do all your other editing. So that's one of the reasons why I like it. But another issue with it with Linux is the file sizes. It has to use, unless if you buy the paid version, it uses uncompressed MOV files, and they're astronomically large. Like a 10-minute video rendered out from DaVinci Resolve is like 30 gigabytes. And you think that's just the 10-minute rendered out. You have to convert all the other footage into the right format so you can even edit it. So one of my project folders is like 120 gigabytes for a 10-minute video. So as soon as I'm done with that project, I have to move it to my backup drive and delete it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll run out of space and 2-3 videos on my hard drive.
Yeah.
But other than that,
yeah. Well, that's a pretty big problem.
Yeah, that's the major problem, and the file size thing. But it's such a good piece of software. It makes me want to purchase it, but it's still, with all the other like little NVIDIA versus AMD issues it has, it's like Kdenlive for what I do is really good. If I do a video that's like very involved with a lot of animations and it's a lot of me talking to the camera, I'll use Resolve. But if I'm doing like a distribution review where it's a pretty simple process and I just need to cut things out, then Kdenlive is perfectly fine.
You've seen how lazy I am with editing, so like I don't do much. I actually did have one of my subscribers come to me and ask if I actually needed an editor. I'm not at the size where like I could actually justify the price for it, but at some point I would like to have my videos looking better. It would be nice. I just make so many of them that I could justify spending more time on it. It's just I have other things I want to do as well outside of YouTube that you have to decide, okay, is there going to be any value in actually doing this? I could go and like animate stuff and do all of that sort of stuff, and it would make the videos look better, but is it something that is going to add value?
Yeah, and a lot of times it doesn't. And because there's like examples that I could give you where I spent 4 days making a video with editing everything, and it does not do well.
Yeah.
And then there's a video that like I woke up at 7 a.m. I was like, oh, I have an idea. I record a video for 30 minutes. I edit it for 30 minutes, upload it within a span of an hour, and it's one of the best performing videos on my channel for like a month.
Well, yeah, I can just tell you about the video I uploaded today. It is currently, I think it's doubling my normal views, tripling my normal views.
That's always nice.
The video I uploaded on the Linux challenge that Linus Tech Tips doing, that video was no effort. I just watched a 10-minute clip from Linus Tech Tips. Like, I'm going to talk about this.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I do really well. Ones that you're like, I'm just going to throw this up real quick, see what happens. Yeah, those do good, but like I'll do a like a jellyfin video.
Yeah.
Going through all the just setting it up, loading Ubuntu server, hours of editing, and it's like 8 out of 10 on the little side thing.
Oh, 8 out of 10. Like anything below 5 is just depressing.
Yeah. The last one I uploaded, I know I like making the videos, so I do them anyway.
Yeah.
But with the Pine phone, the Linux the mobile operating systems, those videos never do good on my channel because I don't do them that often, and it's not what people subscribed for. But they're still super fun to do. But that one's 10 out of 10.
Oh god,
and it's just
that's
like
weird.
I'm not gonna.
I would have thought. Oh, and you do a lot of distro. Yeah, you do a lot of distro stuff. Okay. There's your problem.
Yeah, my main thing is the distros. People love those videos.
I was gonna say, because if I did a video on a Pine phone, I feel like my audience is. I know people that have a Pine phone. Like I feel like people watching my channel are a bit more interested in like the. I guess just dicking around with stuff. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's deeper into it because the Linux distribution videos, they're cool because it saves people time from screwing around with it themselves, basically. And I go through and I cover what's new and all that, and those do really well. And I don't know, they're fun to make too, but I really like making like hardware videos and doing things with the Pine phone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do talking head videos every once in a while too, and those do well too when it's like you find something that's just now starting to be talked about and you do a video on that real quick. Yeah, and those are fun to make too. Like the last one like that I made was the Manjaro cinnamon using Vivality. That was the last time I did one of those, and people liked that video.
I think it's just that there's a lot of people that were angry about it. That's sort of
yeah. It's just a community edition that one person maintains, so it's like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
but I can see
a lot of the articles I saw right there were like really. Well, okay, no, your titles fully embraced the clickbait as well.
I had to.
Made it seem like it was gonna be like, KDE Manjaro drops Firefox.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
The first couple lines, I'm like, Manjaro cinnamon.
Okay, when it comes to clickbait, a lot of people say they hate clickbait, but I think they sort of misinterpret the problem here. A lot of people hate being lied to. They hate being misinformed, but they don't hate clickbait itself. Like if you have like I could have probably come up with a more clickbaity title for that Linus Tech Tips video. Something like Linus Sebastian embraces Linux gaming. Something like that.
Yeah. And see, you're right when it comes to the lying thing. If it's blatantly false, that's no good. But like you could like exaggerate a little bit or not really embellish, but you can be a little dramatic in what you're saying, as long as it's still true and you immediately kind of what's actually going on in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Embellishing is a good way to put it. Like when I did a video on the Arch Linux guided installer, like back in April, the title, actually I need to change the title because it's actually a good program now. What did I call the video?
That thing sucked for a minute.
Guided Arch installer is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, now it's decent.
It has problems. Like
it works better.
Yeah, well,
last time it just didn't make any sense trying to use it.
Things like you still like when you set it up now, it still only does the basic partition configuration, so you get root, swap, and boot. But I always recommend that people have a home partition as well, and it doesn't do that at this point. There's other little things like that. I think you can't set the locale either. It just it just sticks with whatever the default is. But before, like if you typed B instead of A, it would just crash.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, what I haven't used it in about 3 months or so I can't say if it's like working today. But Archfi, that's what I've used a couple different times to install Arch, and that one's pretty good because it doesn't give you a graphical interface, but it makes it a little prettier and it's very guided. It holds your hand through the entire thing. It's not Calamaris, but at least when I used it, it worked every single time I ever used it.
I've had some people telling me to look at Archfi and maybe like compare the guided installer with Archfi, and I need to actually do a video on Archfi. I know everyone's already done videos on it, but I feel like even if a bunch of people have done videos on it, there's still some value that can be added to it if you approach it from a different perspective. If you try to bring your own thoughts into it, like a common example, a recent example was with the Epic data leak. A lot of people did videos on that, like as soon as it happened, saying this is the data that came out. I did a video on that a couple of days later, but my approach was this is how not to handle a data leak. Like I wanted to do a video more on the management side, how Epic approached it, and how they didn't approach it, but is a better way to put it. Just let it happen.
Yeah, if I never, like, if I thought of a video idea and I went on YouTube to make sure nobody else done it before, I would probably have like 12 videos on my YouTube channel because everybody's done something. But like you said, as long as you bring your own twist, you try to either approve on what's already out there so people are getting more information, more options, anything like that, it's fine.
I'm sure you get the comments every so often saying, you're copying insert their favorite Linux YouTuber.
Oh yeah. And all the time. The only person that I admittedly copied here and there, and it's because I copied a couple DistroTube videos, not like direct, like word for word, and I would mention it because like the first time I did it, going over like 5. It was like one of the top 5 video things.
Right.
And I put at DistroTube, here's my top 5.
Sure, okay.
Kind of thing. So things like that you could look at that. But yeah, there's been those comments where people are like, hey, somebody did this exact video. And then I'm like, did they? And then I look at it and they did a completely different method on how to do that. That happens here and there.
The one time where I would say like, the only time I've seen someone actually copy a video, there was a video that Luke and Mental Outlaw did. It was a command line video. I think it was a command line video. See if I can find. Luke doesn't upload many videos. I should be able to find it. But they did the exact same topics in the exact same order, making the exact same points, and they came out like a day between each other.
That's funny. Yeah, there's been times too when like it happened with Switch to Linux. Like he uploaded a video on Linux Mint and I had it like scheduled, and it followed the same step by step, everything that we talked about and reading the changelog and all that, almost identical video. And so that's happened a couple times. But there's, especially if you're covering something that's like new.
Yeah, when it's topical.
Yeah, with what's going on, there's going to be a couple that are very similar.
Like, if you're talking about, you did a video on EAC and BattleEye recently. Like, there's only so much you can say about that. Like, EAC and BattleEye are supported. Here are the games that this will potentially affect.
Yep, yeah. Did not have much to talk about, but it was something that I wanted to, because even in their announcement, they didn't really say too much. There was like a paragraph that you could pull out of that and try to stretch that out into 3 minutes at least.
Oh, I imagine way more than 3 minutes. I also talked about, like, I went through the list of the top 100 games on ProtonDB and talked about, like, here's the games that this will actually affect. Actually, that does remind me, I've got a topic on here. The Verge actually went and contacted a couple of game developers to ask them what they are doing with this, whether they're gonna actually, whether they're actually going to enable it. So I know that Valve has been sending out dev kits. So I would be very surprised if most of the big devs don't at least have one of them.
Yeah.
Because I know there are devs that do have them right now. So there's some of the companies have given basically no comment. Some have confirmed it.
Apex... it looks like that nobody said no.
Yeah, no one said no just yet. Oh, okay. Well, no is really bad for PR, especially right now.
Yeah.
No comment is sort of an implied no.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of yeses here, though.
Sorry?
I said there's a lot of yeses here, though. Dead of Daylight.
To be fair, half the yeses already have native versions.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I think. Well. There was I can't remember exactly what title's on. War Thunder has a native version. I know that. A couple other on here do have native versions as well.
Rust, Pug, no comment. Ugh.
Yeah. I'm still hopeful. I'm still hopeful that when we get close to the launch, they've actually got something in store, because otherwise, like, it doesn't really matter that it's supported in Proton at this point. If the devs don't do anything about it, it's the exact same situation as before.
Yeah. what I can see happening is even these ones that are saying no, because it's not a difficult thing to do. But for the developers saying no, because so many people pre-ordered this thing, when people get it and they see the sales of the people who have this working right out the gate, their money talks. And when they see sales shoot up for all the ones that are natively available on it, they're like, and then they're gonna hopefully get it ported, or not ported, but hopefully enable the anti-cheat and all that.
I'm sure you've been hearing about people saying, wow, Linux is above 1% on the Steam hardware survey over the past 3 months. I do have a video coming on this, and not the 1% itself, why the 1% is bigger than just the 1%. The numbers,
that's a lot.
The number's been slowly going up. It's not just it's above 1%, it's a gradual climb upwards. But that 1% equates to about 1.26 million monthly active users.
And that's a lot of people on Linux.
It is a lot, and I don't know how many Steam Decks are going to sell, but that could be basically double or tripling that number. I think doubling would put us above macOS. So no, tripling would put us above macOS. Yeah.
Well, you can't really play games on it. It's not a good platform, especially with the I have a
still has 2.47% though.
True. There's some games I can play City Skylines on the Mac.
You can do that. You can do Rocket League and a couple of the. I know a lot of the like esports titles work on it.
Okay. Yeah.
And like indie games like Stardew Valley and stuff like that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that if it sells well, these devs will smell the money.
Yeah, that's ultimately what it comes down to. In any of this is money. Which if it's there, it's there.
It is, yeah. One thing One thing that is gonna really confuse me is if Epic doesn't get their shit together and get their games working on Linux. Like, guys, you literally made this work. If Fortnite is not available on Linux, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, that would be silly. What? Oh, that was the other one. That was I was looking over here. Fall Guys is no comment. I'm still kind of skimming through all the. Which that's the one I care about. That's the only thing I spin up a Windows thing for is to play Fall Guys.
Fall Guys used to work, and then they added EAC, and then it didn't work.
Yeah, after the fact. I remember because Fall Guys, because I started getting into Linux again probably a year and a half ago or so, and that's right when that came out.
Yeah.
So, I got to play it for like 2 weeks. Yeah. And then I just didn't. So that sucked. It was an incredibly fun game.
I kind of skipped that entire trend. I never really got into the game. I was busy with the channel and uni at the time, and I didn't really have time for games.
Yeah, it's not too much fun to play by yourself. But if you're like in a Discord server with somebody or a group of people and you guys are doing it, that's when it's really fun.
I guess that's why a lot of people live stream it. Well, like you did live stream it.
Yeah, because if you die, you're like, oh, and then you just back out. But if you have 3 other people, then you want to watch them screw up. Yeah, that's when that game gets fun.
I'm not too surprised that Microsoft didn't really say much about Halo, like with the EAC or BattleEye, whatever it's using.
Yeah, no, they didn't say nothing.
DayZ's
a maybe.
DayZ is. I expect a lot of indie studios to do it. Indie studios are typically a lot more willing, like even though they have way less resources, a lot more willing to support Linux.
Yeah, because they want as many people as possible on their games.
And usually the games are more like games of passion rather than games of how much money can we make this quarter.
Yep, exactly. Which is a lot of the games that we need, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Over on Linux to get.
Well, look, Dead by Daylight's on here, so that's one thing. But yeah, Apex is a big one. BDO, and yeah, people will say, okay, people have said, oh, you wouldn't want to play Rainbow Six Siege or Apex Legends on this anyway. But one, you can dock it, so there's that. You can just plug a monitor into it. But two, this is more than just the Steam Deck. This is about gaming on Linux as a whole. Any changes made in regards to the Steam Deck are going to affect everybody gaming on Linux.
Yeah, and we can already see it. Just Valve alone is probably the only reason why this is even possible is what they've done. And even there's the old video of Linus Torvald saying if anybody's going to push use for a Linux desktop, it's going to be Valve.
Yeah. He started that quote by saying, I don't think games are important, but some people seem to like games, so I guess they're kind of important.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand why people care about games, but he understands that there's a lot of people who do care.
Yeah. It's the primary driving force to your entire ecosystem. Other than server stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hopeful. As I said, I'm hopeful, but I'm not holding out too much hope, because if you do, you'll be disappointed.
Exactly. I need to scroll down. I have this picture you sent me earlier of Mark Zuckerberg. I need to get that out of here. There we go.
Someone actually... they shouldn't have been doing this, but someone did... we don't know if they're entirely accurate. Someone did potentially post benchmarks from the dev kit. That was shared on a Chinese news site, so grain of salt. But the numbers that it's showing don't look impossible. The numbers seem to make sense.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider at 60 for the lower.
The problem is they don't exactly say what they're running. Like, it's just like generic lower.
Yeah. So is that like how low do you have the resolution and all that? Because if you're playing on like 720p, yeah, it's gonna run okay.
Sure.
But Doom 2016 on higher with 46 frames, that's pretty good. That's very playable.
Well, one way you can always save yourself a lot of performance is just disable shadows. Dynamic shadows kills a lot of games.
Oh yeah. To compute. It's always cool to look at the specs of the Steam Deck.
I don't really have a great point of comparison. Like it's because we don't really know how the RDA units are going to perform.
Yeah.
Like we can speculate about it. We don't particularly know.
Yeah, all I can do is look at the core count in gigahertz, but when it comes to the actual architecture and platform, you don't know until it's in your hands and you can actually do it. We were talking about Linus Tech Tips earlier. Didn't he go to Seattle and play with one for a little bit?
Yes, he did. He what did he play? He played Doom Eternal on it, and it played better than the numbers for Doom 2016 here are sort of indicating. So I don't know how much weight we can give to what it has here. But one thing that will be really interesting is FSR, AMD's competitor for DLSS, the upscaling thing. You could probably get some pretty ridiculous performance out of the Steam Deck by just doing upscaling rather than running a native resolution. And at the side, what is it? It's like 8 inches? 7 inches. 7-inch screen.
It's not that big.
Like, if you put it onto a monitor, sure, you would notice, like, the upscaling issues, but on a 7-inch screen, you could probably get away with some pretty harsh upscaling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's where they're gonna run the best. I think it's funny the Cyberpunk 2077's here at 20 to 30. That's surprising to me.
I want to know what their high is, because that's actually really impressive, because that game doesn't run well on good hardware.
Yeah, it doesn't run well on anything.
I have been watching some Ordinary Gamers videos on on Cyberpunk as he keeps doing them. And how they've decided to improve the performance of the game is actually beautiful. They're just like, let's just disable traffic. No traffic. We don't need it.
I forgot what it was, but I was watching something where they were showing off the water physics. Comparing games. And like most of these games are really cool. Some of them are kind of cheesy. But then they showed somebody like shooting a pistol in the water for Cyberpunk and just nothing was happening. It was beautiful.
I was never excited for that game. Like I heard about it back when it was first announced. I was like, okay. So when it came out and it was trash, I was like, okay, that's cool. I just watched the train wreck. Yeah,
I'm not much of a gamer, so I kind of pay attention to what's going on, but like I've had this system on my computer for like 4 or 5 days or so, and I don't think I even have Steam installed yet. Because I jump back and forth between Linux distros all the time.
That's fair.
For reviews. Like I'm on OpenSUSE right now, and because it's going to be a long term, I'm going to be in this for like a month. Here's my review type video. And I mean, it's okay. It's weird. It came with Adobe Flash pre-installed, so that was interesting. Yeah.
Wait, what year is it?
It's Adobe Flash Player.
Sure, okay.
Came with the GNOME version of OpenSUSE.
Sure.
So I'm going to be mentioning that.
So, do you have a distro that like you made at all, or is it just you swap to as you swap?
Oh, I just swap. I don't have like dot files saved and GitHub repositories or anything like that. So I just change them out on like a monthly basis to familiarize myself with different environments.
Yep.
The number one that I get recommended is the Gentoo one, but I'm pretty sure people are doing that just to see if I will do it.
Gentoo's not that bad. It's very time consuming. Just very time consuming.
Yeah, very time consuming. And like one of the main reasons for using something like that is to like slim down the kernel and really get performance perfect. Me, like I would just install the entire LTS kernel and not care and throw whatever. So for me,
you install binary kernel and install GNOME on it.
Yeah, after I get everything installed, it doesn't matter that I'm running Gentoo anymore because I've bloated it. Yeah.
I think Gentoo, I don't know, that there's a weird audience of people that are obsessed with watching people install distros. I've noticed that like when I do a like Arch install stream or a Gentoo install stream, my like viewer count goes way higher. I don't know why. I don't understand it. But these people really they just want to see people in a terminal.
Yep. That wasn't in the terminal at all, but in like the Debian stream that I did, where I just installed Debian because I was going to benchmark it for something else. And that one had like double the average people on the live stream just because Debian was in the title. And
I think it also does help when you just put a distro name in the title. Like I put Arch in the title and my views go way up.
Yeah, it's a given. That's going to happen. If you put a distro's name, you put a number. So you do like 5 best, 7 awesome.
Yeah.
Something like that. You give somebody a list of something. That's what people like that.
Like people laugh at Watch Mojo, but they know exactly how the algorithm works.
Yeah, people laugh at them, but then the last video they upload has 7 million views.
Christ. Imagine being the writer for Watch Mojo. Like, imagine that being your job.
Every day you have to, all right, gotta come up with another list.
Let's see.
10 things.
What is the latest list that Watch Mojo has done? Let's find out.
I haven't
6
looked up
hours ago. Oh, wait. Okay, yep. They know exactly what they're doing. Top 10 most shocking moments from Squid Game.
Top 10, that's a phrase. Most shocking. So that they're hitting all the keywords. For
Top 10 iconic movie scenes of the 2000s.
Got some numbers in there.
Top 10 satisfying level up sounds in video games. Man, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Level up sounds? Oh no.
Jeez.
They're really digging.
I wonder how many employees they actually have. Because clearly, like, that you'd need a lot of people to be sorting through junk like this.
Yeah, they probably have like 2 or 3 people that are solely making the lists. And then they pick the list and they probably send it off to somebody else to make it, like, to get all the graphics and figure out what movie clips they are and aren't allowed to use.
Yeah,
there's probably a lot of work that goes into that.
That's probably a big part of, like, what decides what they can use, actually.
Yeah, so they don't get a strike. Because that's doing stuff like that. That would be my biggest concern. Is if I use 5 seconds of this movie, are they gonna completely take everything down?
YouTube's sort of gotten better with stuff like that. Like on my gaming channel, I've gotten a couple of copyright claims, not strikes, for playing the intro to a game.
Yeah.
Just because, like, the intro's, like, you know, it's they'll have some like singers for it. Yeah, it's not like made specifically for the game.
I think one of the reasons why it's because, especially in the last couple of years, with how much like reaction type videos there are, that is such a heavy amount of viewership on YouTube now, and that's just people basically replaying other people's content with paused opinions here and there. And if they were to be really strict on using little clips of movies and stuff, that would cut down so many watch hours on YouTube. That's what I think is the main reason why that's been getting lighter and lighter with how strict they are.
I think what also happens with is a lot of, especially game studios, but movie studios as well, are starting to catch on as well. Realize that there is sort of a mutually beneficial relationship there. As long as someone isn't just uploading your entire thing in just without anything, like they just sit in the corner like, yes, that happened.
Yeah, don't pause it at all to say anything. Just at
like,
the end of it, like, oh, that was good.
I think when people are actually adding some commentary to it, they're realizing, like, it's basically free marketing. That's what it is. It's basically free marketing for them.
Exactly. Yeah. I've gotten a 1 strike on my channel. The 1 strike I have on my channel was from a video I uploaded, like, I got it like 8 months after I uploaded the video. And it was, what's that distro? It has the Onion browser installed. I don't want to say the words because I don't want them to happen to you. It's the one distro you can only run it off of a USB. It's meant to use the Onion web browser.
I think
Tails.
I know. Ah, yes.
Tails. Yeah, it was just a thing.
It's fine. We just talked about Sonic.
Yeah, it was one of the. It was just a regular distro. Review video on that, and since I went on the bad side of the internet for like 2 seconds to show that it worked, that's the 1 strike I have on my channel. It's been on there forever. Every time I log in, I got a big window saying, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you got a warning. Oh. Yeah, my warning it's so dumb because there are videos on it that still exist now. Is a video on YouTube DL.
I cut out. Luke Smith got kicked off for like a week because of that, and some other people got strikes. So I have a video that was old that went over like I think it's 7 terminal utilities.
Yeah.
I had YouTube DL in there, and I went and I just took that chunk out because I didn't even want to risk it. I took that, so I go from like application number 3 to application number 5 in that video because I just took that right out because I don't want to risk it. Still on Odyssey though.
Yep, my video's still there as well. It's so I'm literally looking at videos on YouTube DL right now, and these were uploaded before my video.
Yeah, that's why I got all sketched out and got rid of that because I don't want another one because then that's 2 strikes.
Yeah, 2 strikes is a problem.
Yeah, because then you got to be real careful. Well, can't do anything wrong.
Your first strike's always a warning. At least when I got it, I don't know if it was different when you got that one.
Do I still have it? Yep, channel violation. Warning.
Yeah, when you get that second strike, that's when I think it's like you can't upload for a week or something like that.
Yep.
Which, you know, for hey, if it happens when you have your exams, it might not be a bad thing.
No, it'd probably be beneficial. But then I would just still make a video every day and then schedule them out and then have 2 a day up.
Yep.
Because I have no time management skills when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah. I've gotten better at it. I now tell myself, you're not working after like 5 p.m. Once it's 5 p.m., just leave it till the next day.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. For me, it's like 6. And my time is when I usually just drop it. And
it sort of depends on when I wake up. Like sometimes I wake up later. I'm like, okay, we'll keep going a bit later then.
Yeah. Yeah,
doesn't always happen though.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Like Monday, I was doing stuff till 7:38 because like screw it. It was a public holiday on that day. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going. I'll get all my videos planned out today.
Yeah. Me, I've been super busy doing this because I've been trying to pump them out, and I've been working on forms too. And I don't know, like I had to teach myself how to use the software and all that.
Yeah.
It's through the Node. I saw you just did a video on the Node. The people over there are awesome.
They are.
Yeah. So I did a discourse forms. I'm trying to set that up, and it's a lot because I'm so used to using just regular cPanel and having normal websites through that. But this is my first time like in a VS actually having to run it through Docker and all that. So I've been spending a lot of time recently on that because I'm trying to get my main website away from WordPress. Because WordPress sucks. Like if you were on the blog TechHut TV, it's garbage. I haven't like every once in a while I'll put an article up where there's more than like 2 commands for the description, and that's about it. But the forum website looks a lot better, and it's more interactive and all that.
My favorite page is here it is. It's this one. Here we go.
Oh, sample page.
Yeah, sample page. Just left it there.
Yep, sounds about right.
I'm guessing when you first make a thing with WordPress, it just makes that and you just never got rid of it.
Yeah. I probably deleted it from the menu, but didn't actually get rid of it all the way. Because you could delete pages. WordPress it's not that bad. It's just it's just a static blog basically. So I'm not really motivated to go to it and publish things to it.
Sure.
Which would be good to do, but that's why going to the forum, because I'm more used to using like other people's forums and just the formatting B code. I know all the B code and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm building that. It's a fun little project.
It does sound like a fun project. I don't know, maybe I should try out something like that at some point. I don't know. It could make a fun video series as well.
Yeah, and it's open source. It's a free open source thing. I think Mozilla uses it for their forums. Ubuntu uses it for theirs. Manjaro uses it. A lot of people use Discourse. There's a couple others too, but it seems like Discourse is the better when it comes to free and open source. I've used non-free ones, like there's other form software like Zenforo and all this, but because you get support for a year and then you have to repurchase $50 extended support licenses and all this crap. But
speaking of Ubuntu, so you know how the Snap application doesn't have support for third-party stores?
Yeah.
Well, someone wants to fix that.
LOL.
Yeah, they just called it LOL.
LOL Snap.
The Snap custom server.
It's a variant of Snap. That's awesome. Run LOL refresh to upgrade.
Yeah, it's just basically taking the piss here. I do love it.
That's beautiful.
There's some people that are trying to basically take what is in the main Snap repo and just migrate it over. And apparently it's pretty much just one command to migrate stuff. So at some point, I don't know if Canonical's gonna like that if you just mirror the store into another server, but they're gonna do it anyway.
Yep. It's harder to keep track. They like to have all their numbers It's gonna ruin all that.
I don't hate snaps to the level that some people do, but
no, a lot of people, especially like I did a video on installing Nextcloud,
and
I did it with a snap. The main part of the video was the linking it to a domain and all that. So the installation part was just run sudo snap install, and people did not like that at all. Like half the comments were like, "Why would I use a snap?" and the other half were normal.
Yeah,
but there is a good point too, because like with the snap package for Nextcloud, for example, there's certain plugins that require some dependencies that you can't get into the snap package. Like if you want to run video encoders, so you convert videos on your server externally in the background, you can't do that through the snap because there's have no way to incorporate FFmpeg into the snap package. But there's a couple things like that, but like me, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So the snap is fine for me. But some of the things people say make sense and they're fair, but a lot of people just don't like it to not like it.
Yeah. There's one snap that I've been tempted to install because it actually makes the program better, and that's OBS.
I ran the snap. It does.
Because especially now, because there's things that rely on like the OBS team's YouTube keys. So like you can do like YouTube integration, Twitch integration, and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't tried it. Because didn't they update that recently with a whole bunch of different things?
Yep.
I haven't deep dived into it too much yet. So I'm not too familiar with the YouTube integration and all that. But I know running OBS on a snap package, I've never had an issue with that either. There are some things that snaps and flat packs, and I don't use app images that much, but snaps and flat packs are really good for. But like Nextcloud for my specific use case was a perfect use, but I can see how doing that is limiting. In a way. And realize you need something, but you've already been running the snap for a year and you have everything on there. Probably a pain to migrate something like that. So
I wouldn't know with Nextcloud. Nextcloud, some things are fine. Like some things are pretty fine migrating. Like migrating Steam and stuff like that from the native version to Flatpak's dead simple. But I'm sure there's a lot more to Nextcloud than that.
Yeah, I haven't done any migrating Nextcloud, but it seems like it would not be well, no, because I do have a backup thing, but it's still setting up everything. I'm not sure if like the settings import properly or anything like that. But I know you can back up your actual like file structure and all that really.
Okay.
But yeah. I was gonna say like application, because you can install third-party applications and stuff.
Yeah.
And migrating those settings would be.
I've been meaning to look at Nextcloud for a very long time. I just like I have a list of topics that has about 1,000 things on it.
Yeah, no, so do I. There's so many things I have to get around to that I've said I would, like in other videos, that I've obligated myself to do. Like I have to do the video on installing DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
But there's a way to do it depending on if you're in Fedora, if you're in Ubuntu, if you're in Arch. So I gotta like it's gonna be one of those videos that's gonna take a while. And like I have to do part 2 of a jellyfin guide that I said I would do. So yeah, I actually have it on Nextcloud where it's like these things where I could put it from a to do, doing, done, like a deck thing. And the to do is like you could scroll for a little bit. That's the one good thing though, is with the type of content we make, it's very hard to run out of things. That's not the issue in this.
Yeah, I'm sure you're at the point as well where people suggest stuff and the list is basically self-perpetuating. Like it will never grow shorter, no matter what you do.
No, like even like I have a Discord server that has a chat room that's just suggestions.
Yeah.
And I could just go on that and scroll and find something in a couple seconds that I could do a video on. And
that's without even considering like just doing whatever news stuff shows up.
Yeah, that works too. The like the one that I was just last suggested, somebody wants to know the difference between like bash and ZSH and fish and all those. But that's one of the reasons why I like doing this. Completely know. And then that forces me to learn it, and then I have to learn it enough to the point where I can actually talk about it and know what I'm talking about.
You just wing it. Just see what happens. See if anyone calls you out.
There's some of it, like I wing some videos, but it's usually if I already have a
yeah.
Like if I tried to wing a video talking about fish, I would look like a complete idiot.
Like if you did a video on like Kdenlive, for example, you're just talking about generally using Kdenlive. You've used enough at this point where it's fine.
Yeah, I could make a 25-minute video on Kdenlive with no, like if I hit record right now, I could just go, because I use that thing so much. Even before I was, it was my alternative when I was doing like just like little clips of completely unrelated things for like family and all that. I've been using Kdenlive forever. But I still like DaVinci Resolve a little bit better. But like we said earlier, it has its faults.
Yeah. I've had issues with Kdenlive in the past. Some versions were just not stable. It's gotten really good nowadays. I haven't had any problems with any of the versions recently, but I mainly use Olive at this point. I want Olive to be good. It's just, it's very alpha.
Yeah, I've used Olive in a couple videos, and like I would like it to be good as well. I can see where it, like in 2 years probably. Yeah, it's gonna be a wonderful video editor.
There's just one dude working on it though.
Really? There's it?
One. Yeah, the dude's a YouTuber as well. It's not like he's just dedicating all his time to working on Olive.
Yeah, but I can see how, because it kind of follows the same kind of node structure with some of the effects and animations and things you want to do as DaVinci Resolve does. And that's an incredibly professional video editing application. But yeah, with Kdenlive, as of recent, I haven't that a lot of people used to have with like the random crashing or anything like that. And if it does, it's really good with recovering.
Yeah.
So if it does crash and it pulls it up. The issues I've been having with Kdenlive are when I have effects. Like sometimes it just works perfect and I don't have an issue, but there'll be times where like I'll bring the little credit things with the Patreon names.
Yeah.
And during the transition slide or the fade, the screen's just black for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, nice. So then I got to go back and then I'll like move the clip like 3 frames over and re-render it and it'll work. So it's just little things like that.
I do my YouTube shorts in Kdenlive just because Olive doesn't have all the stuff I need it to do. So I will crop my video and my game and then also like resize it to fit in like the vertical layout. Yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't apply the effect. Or it'll apply the effect wrong.
No. Yeah, for cutting, Kdenlive is beautiful. But you'll have to, if you use it on a consistent basis, you'll find yourself re-rendering every once in a while for sure. And yeah, the same thing happened to me because I don't do shorts too often, but like the last one I did was a boot speed thing, top and bottom.
Yep.
And I brought in the names and they just flashed in instead of the slide and things like that happen a lot. And another thing that happens, I'm not sure if it happens to you, but when you're cutting just like regular footage, if you cut too close to an audio wave, I'll get these like loud like chirp, like right once it goes over the cut. That happens to me a lot.
I can't say I've seen that one before.
Yeah, I did where I was like basically saying why I like DaVinci Resolve, complaining about Kdenlive, where I was scrubbing over it and going over the. I played it. That though.
Man, these audio issues are a pain in the ass. I haven't had these for so long.
Oh, me?
Yeah. I didn't hear any of that last bit.
There we go. Oh, and other than some things like that, those are the only issues that I've had with Kdenlive.
Right.
But they're substantial enough that they're super annoying. Especially if like I'm like especially recently because I just started school. Like I'll render a video and I'll have 5 minutes before I have to leave, and I'll skim through real quick and they'll be like, and then I gotta hit re-render, and then like I had a video that it was like a sponsored one that I said I'd have up in a certain time, so I had to re-render it, but I had to go to school. So on my computer screen, I left the window open and I left YouTube open in the upload page. I had to call my fiance. Can you click on the file, get over to the other window? Like I had to have her upload it for me because of a Kdenlive rendering issue.
I luckily don't have that limited amount of time. Like I work nights, so if I, forget to upload something beforehand, I'll just do it at midnight or so.
Yeah.
And because like time zones and stuff, like it's not a big deal. I just schedule stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to start scheduling things. That's my big problem right now.
When I started scheduling videos, honestly, it felt so freeing. Like I don't have to worry about it when it needs to go up.
Yeah, and I always like it because like the only time I schedule things, like Linode as a sponsorship, they're really nice to work with. I don't even have to show them the video, so they're super cool. But like there's other ones that they have to like approve it to make sure you're not saying anything absolutely ridiculous during the video, and those ones I schedule out. And it's nice because I'll be like, it'll get approved, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can just have this come out today instead of stressing about what's going on, and so I'll just publish it, and it's nice.
I do like Linode for that. Like they've when they first contacted me, like, oh, do you want to like have some free credit to do some stuff with this, and do you want to like try something out? Like that's really helpful. Like that you guys want to do this. Especially at the time, I was only at like, I think at the time I was maybe only at like 10k subs or something. So I wasn't a big channel by any means.
Yeah, my channel is really weird because Did that work? Am I back?
You're back. Hi. I'm not gonna cut that.
Okay, that's fair. I got in as quick as I could. Hello.
Hi. Yes.
Thank you, OpenSUSE. Like I said, I've been in OpenSUSE for a couple of days, so I'm still learning the distribution. What I was saying,
yes,
is my channel's weird because it's old and it was basically a different channel before.
Yeah.
Like the first 12,000 subscribers that I have, I can't really count because none of those people watch this channel.
Right.
Because they subscribed in 2012 when I was making Minecraft videos, and it's probably all just inactive Google accounts at this point. But so when I look at my numbers, it's like I actually have this many that I can count.
Yeah.
Subscriber base. But yeah, that's what I was saying before Discord crashed.
Well, to be fair, even considering that like your channel does really well, even with those 12k subs not really counting.
No, I've been really, and there's a trick to it that I think I kind of figured out, is every once in a while there's a certain type of video that I know is going to do good on a long-term basis. Like me saying something about like the Manjaro thing, Manjaro and Vivality.
Yeah.
I know that video is going to get a lot of views really quick and then just flatline. A video that's going to happen to a video like that, but like I have a couple other ones like the benchmarking videos that I do here and there, where I just get the numbers and I see if there's any significant differences between Linux distributions. Those do well on a like steady long-term basis. So if those and the YouTube algorithm is really weird. So if those videos do well and people watch those, they'll start getting recommended my recent ones that are more kind of short-term growth videos. And yeah, it's difficult to figure out, but there's kind of a method to it, making videos that are strictly that I know won't do well initially, but have long-term potential, versus videos that I make strictly for the people who are subscribed.
I'm trying to search your channel on Social Blade, and there's another channel called TechHut, but it refuses to show your actual... Oh, there we go. Now it's showing the right channel.
Yeah, it's Tech, because I had to change it.
I literally searched for this twice, and it didn't show up until the third time. Whatever. Yeah, your growth is like sort of spiked recently. Jeez. Videos for... Yeah, your channel is really well for its size. Wow.
Yeah, to a point to me it doesn't make sense, but
why is your... Oh, right, because your original stuff, like your Social Blade still thinks you're a games channel.
Yeah, because like a majority of the views are on, because I did like top 10 bucket plugins that have like 900,000 views from 10 years ago, and so it thinks I'm a games channel, but I'm waiting for that to change someday. Someday that might change.
Maybe. I wouldn't hold out hope for that one.
No. I don't use Social Blade too much. I kind of look at it to see, like, kind of compare to others, but...
I do like... I always love Social Blade's estimated earnings.
Yeah, it's just so... Like, the range is so wide. It's usually somewhere right in the middle of what they say.
Let's see for mine. What does mine say at this point? Brodie, Robertson.
Yeah, 17%. Like that's a lot.
About right in the middle. Right in the middle seems about right.
Yeah, which is good because I left my job February, and it was super because when I first left my job, using only YouTube AdSense revenue, all that, I was technically in the red by like $400 every month. So I was like, well, hope this works. And I had a savings account, so I knew I could sustain myself for this amount of months. Oh, well, that didn't work.
Well, you're in a much better position. Like, it is like the end of the year, so you can't really count end of the year metrics too much. But you're judging by the numbers, you're in a much better position right now.
Yeah, it's doing decent, which is good timing for being in school and all that.
Yeah, well, I worked while I was going through uni, but like I totally get that if you can focus entirely on it, it makes more sense to do that. You're gonna have to repeat this. I can't hear.
YouTube in school is
fucking audio. I hate this. This is like one of the reasons why I stopped using Discord with some people.
Yeah, no. I'm usually not. I use it for the typing and the server thing a lot of the time, but it's very rare. I'm usually in like the audio chat for the server, and that really doesn't matter. If it cuts out for 2 seconds, just go, what? What'd you say?
It's usually better than this. Some days it's just rough though.
Yeah, but yeah, the channel's going in the right direction, which is nice.
Well, up is always the right direction. It doesn't like. Yeah. Some people have said to me like, "Oh, your channel's not growing as much as so-and-so channels." Like, that's fine. I don't care as long as it's not going down. As long as I'm not Brian Lunduk.
Yeah.
He did it to himself though.
Right. Yeah, for me, like this month, like if it does go down for a couple months, that's gonna be fine by me. Because if you average out like the last 12 months, it's like the last couple weeks, I don't know what happened really.
Well, let's see what you uploaded. Top 5 distro of 2020. Sure, okay, yeah, that's that inherently going to do well.
Yeah.
People love GNOME videos. I don't know why. I guess.
Yeah, the theming ones I uploaded because I recently just started using GNOME, and I was on KDE for like a year and a half, KDE Plasma, and I forced myself to use Fedora 34 for a review for a long-term like 1 month type video, and after that I like GNOME now because I didn't like it before, and when I would review distros or talk about them, my main complaints was it's GNOME,
Right.
And I was like, well, this isn't really fair.
Sure.
So I forced myself to use it, and now it's my main thing at the moment. I used i3 for a long time, but I never got used to the tiling thing.
I don't know. I sort of forced myself to learn My camera just disappeared. Whatever. I sort of forced myself to learn tiling, and I now can't live without it.
Yeah. Yeah, I used Cronkite for a while, which is that little extension for Plasma. And that was cool because you could pop open settings and disable it and then have floating again. My only, I would probably use tiling. Like, I used i3 for a couple months, but my main issue, which isn't an issue anymore because of how I record now, is trying to get VirtualBox to work properly with it and record it was kind of a pain. And using multi-monitors with i3 and having to do the configuration file, and for a while there I had it was a stacking display.
Yep.
And I had the wrong
oh yeah, no, i3 is gonna be weird like that. Yeah.
Yeah, i3 was weird. Yeah, my backgrounds were flipped, and it took me a couple days to figure that out, how to switch those back. One of my benchmarking videos that I was talking about that did fairly well. If you look at the computer in the background, I have my backgrounds are cut in half all weird, because that's when I was using i3 and trying to fix it.
Yep.
But it's mostly the keyboard. I'm not much of a keyboard person. So I'm not good with memorizing hotkeys or setting things up like that. It's even trying to remember to use the super key to get into the GNOME shell and start typing something. I always end up going and clicking activities just because my hands aren't on the keyboard. That's
one of the things I kind of like about Awesome. I disable it because I don't care for it, but Awesome, every window has a status bar on it, like you'd see in most floating window managers. So you can full screen it with that. You can close it with that. If I go and right click on my taskbar at the top, I can swap between the windows that are open. There's a lot of the typical floating stuff inside of Awesome. Awesome does a really good job at bringing the two workflows together. I actually use a lot of floating windows in Awesome. My browser window, just because I don't have anywhere sensible to put it, I just float it and just put it above my face, because I don't need to see my face. But yeah, I like the option of having floating there, but tiling is my go-to.
Yeah. On my laptop for a real long time, and I use their built-in GNOME tiling pop shell thing. For Awesome, because have you configured i3 before?
I have, yes. That was my first window manager.
Yeah, it's fairly easy to configure. You can figure it out, spend 30 minutes in it, you'll know how to do it.
Good luck with Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the comparison. How would you compare the config?
Awesome is in the same boat as things like Qtile and Xmonad.
Okay, yeah, Xmonad is difficult.
Xmonad is Haskell, Qtile is Python, this is Lua.
I could probably do Qtile, because I know a little bit of Python. I can at least read it and edit it. I can't just start typing and make something.
Well, the thing I like about Awesome is besides the key bindings being made by a crazy person, the Awesome is good at okay, what I mean is Super Shift Q, the key that normally kills a window, kills Awesome. Before I changed that, I don't remember how many times I killed Awesome trying to kill a window.
Just go black screen for a couple seconds. That's fun.
One thing I don't like about i3 is it uses Vim key bindings to move windows around, but they're shifted to the right. So instead of H, J, K, and L, it's J, K, L, and semicolon.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot. It took me a while to figure that out.
That's one of the things I fixed literally on the first minute I used. This is dumb. What is this?
Yeah, and I like to use the I'm a super normie when it comes to a lot of this. I set it up to use the just the arrow keys.
That's fair.
For a lot of the window movements in i3, and it worked pretty good. Just super in those. But I wish I would have got a keyboard that had a number pad. That was a.
I do have a number pad. Oh god, let's not break stuff. No, there we go, number pad.
Yeah, I got it's like a ducky mechanical. It's a nice keyboard. I don't want to pull it because with my luck, I'll bump a button and kill Discord.
I'm running a Cherry Stream right now. This is $40 Australian, which is probably like, I don't know, $5 US. I don't know.
No, it's not that bad.
I think it's like $20 or $30.
Yeah, it's like 80 cents to the dollar. This one was kind of expensive. It was like I think it was 100 US, so like 120 Australian, and it's pretty nice. It has a silent reds in it, so you can't really hear it too bad when I'm typing. Unless if I hit the space bar and it's like boom when you're typing. But it works pretty good.
I'm just not really a fan of mechanical keyboards. I like my scissor switches. I got a lot of hate comments on the video where I talked about scissor switches. And then I had over time, like that's one of the videos that sort of over time just generally does well. I now occasionally have people sort of who are also scissor switch fanatics coming like, wow, there's someone else who likes scissor switches? I didn't know anyone else existed.
Yep. Yeah, and like this thing, I actually like I'll switch my setup to using this keyboard and like I'll forget to switch back.
I hate the keys on that thing. They actually
it looks like the most generic, like something you'd get in like a Dell box with a computer type keyboard.
There is no travel on those keys, is there?
No, not at all.
They're just
not at
like
all.
buttons.
It squishes.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, but it works if I have to hit record on OBS.
Yeah, that's fine. If that's all you're doing. I guess it'd work for like a media PC and stuff as well.
Yeah, no, it's good for like hooking to a server, or if you did have it in a like a media cabinet for your TV and all that. This would be a good keyboard. I like the ones that fold, like a trifold with the. Have you seen those before?
What? No.
No, they're super cool. They like fold, so then it's like a little square. You can folds as like a trackpad, and the rest is a keyboard.
What are you doing?
Painfully unergonomic.
Yeah, no, that sounds horrible. I don't know what you're. I've never heard of this before.
Here.
Okay, let's see.
This is just a random Amazon link.
Okay.
It's a painful link. I didn't take any of the extra crap out of it.
What is this?
It's perfect for like a home media PC that you only need to hit play on a movie.
I guess so. Oh, the trackpad's useful to have there, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess
it has the buttons.
It's technically a keyboard, sure.
It's technically a keyboard. Just don't sit there and actually try to type stuff out on it. You'll hurt your wrists.
Why does it have iOS, Android, and Windows buttons on like the Q, W, and E keys?
I just noticed that. This was a completely random one.
Maybe it's to like
switch
free systems
between devices.
Oh, it has Bluetooth to connect to multiple devices. Ah.
Okay.
That's actually kind of useful.
Yeah, and it's small.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, so I'm not crazy. So, trifold little keyboard.
Huh. I don't like it.
Yeah, neither do I.
But it's
That's
cool.
why I got this one.
There's a picture at the end. There's a picture at the end here of someone putting it into their work bag as if they're gonna like do, I don't know, journalism on it.
Work with it?
No.
Yeah, I would not recommend doing any journalism on a keyboard like that. You're gonna give yourself carpal tunnel.
Pretty much straight away. So we are just closing in on the 2-hour mark actually, and that's roughly where I want to end it.
Sounds good to me.
I didn't hit on most of the topics we have. We just went on like random tangents, which is fine to be honest. A lot of these topics aren't like super timely. Yeah.
Works for me.
Where can people find you?
People can find me both on YouTube if you just search TechHut and look for a generic thumbnail with a laptop and a Linux distro over the laptop. You will find me there, or you could go over to TechHut on Twitter, and I am also there. I'm not too active on Mastodon, but I do have an account. Odyssey, if you do prefer that platform, I have everything over there, and I'm actually quite active on Odyssey. I love the platform. Yeah, you can go to forum.techhut.tv as well. But YouTube's the main thing.
Yeah, we should have talked more about Odyssey, actually. Especially like it's been a while since like the whole SEC thing happened, and yeah, it growth
I haven't heard
sort
anything about that.
I don't know. They're still on their Twitter. They're still like saying they're being bullied by the SEC.
Crypto and
yeah, basically the thing they've been doing for months.
Yeah,
they've been talking about how the platform's been like massively growing still, but I'm what am I? I think my account is the 71st biggest account on the platform, and I've had maybe 500 or 600 sub growth over the past like 5 or so months, which is nothing.
Yeah, mine has been decent. Like your numbers are way better than mine over on Odyssey.
Well, no, my problem is that the platform's apparently growing, but like none of the channels in the top 100 list are seeing much growth.
I think it's because it's probably a lot of people who aren't really into tech are figuring this out. And I can see a lot of like the conservative.
Yeah, the political crowd is probably what's going to jump in on it.
Yeah, that's probably where a lot of the growth is coming from, especially here with some of the like. I'm not going to pick a side or anything, but the deplatforming that's going on, they moved to here because the last thing they were using, what was it? Parler, that social media service. That thing got borked, so. They need somewhere else to go. And that's probably a chunk of the numbers.
But the problem with BitChute, which is where a lot of people go, is BitChute's very hard to make money on.
Yeah.
I think they have like an ad program now, but like you have to be a really big creator or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to... Anything other than YouTube, it's like really tricky to work and actually pull any revenue out of.
Unless you're using it to direct people to other things like a Patreon, things like that.
Yeah, then that's doable. But like even Odyssey, it's like you can make their tips and all that, but it's not really the best when it comes to revenue and income. But it's still a magnificent platform. Like I think I just hit 2,000 people over here.
Oh wow!
Which is decent for not that popular of a platform.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I still have my old picture and my old banner and all that. I need to update some things.
I've been meaning to like make a new banner and stuff for my stuff. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I just changed my banner on YouTube and Twitter. It was so bad. Like it had a TH in the middle with like thumbnails for videos that were older than dirt. And I just got rid of it and replaced it with what was the best. Until I can figure out what to put there, which is literally just a picture of like my Ryzen cooler.
Hey, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does the trick, I guess.
So I think that's going to be pretty much everything then. You guys can find, if you're watching the video version of this, the audio version is available pretty much anywhere. Video release on YouTube and Odyssey. My main channel, Brodie Robertson, upload Linux videos. I've got a gaming channel, Brodie Robertson Plays. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Do you have anything else to say?
Not really. Have a lot of projects coming up that are going to be fun. So check those out. Other than that, I am A-okay.
Okay, cool. I never tell people this because they never watch to the end, but I let the guest always do the outro. So give us an outro.
All right. Well, thank you for watching or listening to the podcast. We enjoyed having you here. Make sure, like was already said, you subscribe to both TechHut and Brodie on both YouTube and Odyssey, and check out Brodie's Patreon to support him over there. With all that said, I hope you all have a beautiful day, and goodbye.
Wow, that was the most professional outro we've ever had here. I like it.